All right, live a couple minutes early just because I want to get busy painting. There's nobody here yet, but that's okay. All right. Whoa, what happened there? Hello, Debbie. Welcome. I went live a few minutes early because I was anxious to get to it. I may do this from time to time. Just jump in and start going without any warning. We'll see. I think... Hello, everyone. Hello, Annie. Hello, Christy. Sometimes I feel like, oh, I really want to paint, but now I feel like I should wait and paint live with you guys, which I know is just my own neurotic head. But to split the difference, I may just go live sometimes when I'm painting and not even tell you guys. And if you happen to notice, you happen to notice. And if you don't, that's okay too. Whoa. I cleaned up in my studio a little bit today, and now there's things. You would think that if you clean up your studio that there's fewer things to trip on, but in my case, cleaning up the studio means now there are more things to trip on. So I'm currently doing that. So what's everybody been up to? I think especially as I get closer to the details, the detailing phase of my paintings, I may go live without warning. Simply because I gotta strike when that iron is hot. And it wasn't actually feeling hot this morning. I don't know, just been feeling not crazy inspired by the things that I've been painting lately. And I think that's why I haven't been finishing things. Why I've got so many paintings that are sitting there not finished. This being one of them. This painting shouldn't have taken me this long. Oh, how was it, Annie? That's right. Hello, Ma. Yeah, you have to just do it. You can't wait at that point for anything else. But I think what I needed today, why I went early, and it was only about 5-6 minutes early, so it wasn't too much. But I think one of the reasons I went early today was because I haven't been feeling crazy inspired. And I thought, I gotta get to it. I can't wait. I have to just start. Either that or I was going to talk myself out of painting on this one today and start another painting. And I can't start another painting. I have this one. I have the doll. There's that house that I started quite a while ago with you guys. That one's still on my to be completed list. And I did actually start prepping a canvas for another painting, but that painting is going to be on a humongous canvas. So, yeah, I decided, you know what, I got to finish at least one of these before I start a new one. for you, Annie. I want to see. Ooh, alcohol markers. Are those fun? I have looked at them before, but of course not dared go for it because I have so much already that I'm not using. I'm just kind of breaking up the texture here and building up the opacity and color on the wall. Introducing a hint of texture through brushwork as well. So we can actually talk about another. Oh, there's Annie's tattoo. Let's see. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so delicate. For anybody who might not be on Discord, oh, it's so sweet. I love it. What was I saying? I don't remember what I was saying. Oh well, wasn't important then. Oh yeah, we can talk about another 101 Ways item today because it's very topical for what I'm saying and, you know, the conversation kind of getting started in chat, and that is to let your unfinished work exist without judgment. And that's a hard one for me because my unfinished pieces sit in two categories. One category being I have failed. Now I need to decide if I'm going to salvage that canvas or if I'm going to throw it away. And the other being I feel horrible. I feel like a failure because I have a painting that I really should have finished and have no real excuse for not finishing. And, you know, neither one of those make you feel very good. So it's one that I'm trying to learn too, trying to figure out how to, you know, get to that point where I can just let unfinished work exist. And maybe I'll get back to it and maybe I'll throw it away and maybe, you know, it'll sprout wings and take flight. Who knows? But that I need to let it be there without judging it or myself. Mr. Moon is really, really on one today. So you will hear him. He will annoy you. I apologize. Yes, it's Mr. Moon. You will never hear Canelo meow. If you hear Canelo meow, then you might need to call 911 for me and send him over because that means something's going down. I don't know what. It just means Canelo does not meow. And if he is, it's an event. He'll meow in the car. He really hates the car. Other than that, never. If only Mr. Moon could be more like his brother. Mr. Moon, you're really annoying. He's all, don't care. There's a little bit of texture on this part of the wall in the image because the boards or wallpaper or whatever it is a little warped right here over the AC. So I think I'm going to try and suggest some of that texture without going overboard. It's all day, guys. It's all day. This is how Mr. Moon is all day. Both of your cats are? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what I would do if both of mine were. It's ultra fun when he does this in the middle of the night. That's really, really fun. Hey, Moon, if you're going to come back here and keep that going, you're going to find yourself kicked out. No, you shut up. I'm so tired of it. He's really been on one all day. It has not stopped all day. Hello, Tammy. Welcome. Yeah, I think that's good. Oops. Oh, so anyway, back to that. Let your unfinished work exist without judgment. What do you guys do with your unfinished work? It doesn't matter why it's not finished. How do you feel about it? What do you do with it? Does it bother you? Does it not? Whatever. Let's talk about that. Let's work on the radiator a little bit. That poor radiator. I mean, on one hand, it looks sad, and that's good because it's supposed to be sad. But on the other hand, it's not supposed to look that sad. Annie feels guilty. Oh, don't feel guilty. That's sad. But I understand, too. It does make me feel guilty. But I'm trying really hard to detach myself from it because it's part of being an artist. And the longer you paint, the more garbage you paint. Remember, I was telling you guys I have boxes and boxes and boxes. Those boxes and boxes extend to trashed paintings that never got finished as well. In fact, today I pulled a whole ton of paintings. I don't even know where that box went. I have a box like this that's like full of false starts, crappy paintings that I hate, just stuff that I don't want to emotionally gauge, right? Like I don't want to spend time looking at it and thinking, well, yeah, but it's not too bad. I bet I could paint over it, or I'd like to remember this idea, or whatever it is. Those are all the kinds of thoughts that I have when looking at some of my old paintings, and I don't want to have those thoughts because then I keep things hanging around that aren't helpful, and I just keep holding on to garbage. So I'm trying to look at it and saying, I'm never going to finish this. Realistically, I'm not going to paint over this canvas. Huck it. Or, I'm not treating every single thing I've ever painted as precious. So if I look at it and I'm like, oh, that's kind of yucky, it's gone. I'm throwing it away. So that's kind of what I have been doing today. And it feels good. Let's give this like a dent. A little bit of a dent on the top edge here. It's too crisp. There's no dent in the picture, but I like a dent. We'll give it another dent too. Where would be a good dent? Realistically, where would it get a dent? Maybe under this is going to be an outlet. Maybe under the outlet. Because if somebody was using that outlet, then this would have had more of an opportunity to get dented. So I try and think about stories like that. I think she was just irritated because Moon was all over her.
Are you done?
No. Freya went into Vince's office and started bugging him. He thought she needed to go outside and go potty, but I could hear her like stretching in the living room and Mr. Moon running around her face, just screaming in her face, and it irritates her. Yeah, this is looking better. Yeah, exactly. But then you end up like holding on to a billion things that you're never going to use. And sometimes I think that those things, they also have like emotional weight to them. And if I look at something and I feel that emotional weight, then I'm probably more likely to get rid of it, because I don't need to be reminded of things that I have negative associations with, whether it's what was going on when I painted it, or have to move this over. Remember last time I was telling you it was wonky because I was trying to paint her on a camera. Whether it's what was going on when I painted it, or just the way I feel about the subject matter, or anything. You know, I don't have to hold on to that and continue to make myself feel those things whenever I look at it. So I just won't look at it by throwing it away. Tammy's beginning to wonder if the owner builder of this... What? Oh, in my painting. I was like, what are you talking about, Tammy? I know, right? Like, what is that all about? I think these on the ground, these are just for heating, right? Radiators. I think it's only heating, but I could be wrong. It could also be AC. We don't really do these in this area. You see them sometimes, but you don't see them very often. But I know other places, this is kind of the standard. This is what you got. And I don't know if it's for heating and cooling. But yeah, then the two others that are, I think they're definitely ACs. I mean, if one breaks, move it out and replace it with one that works. Don't install something else. What the heck? So yeah, I don't know. But these are questions that I think it's interesting to ask in a painting, right? It's part of the story. It's part of the story of the place. And I could very easily just leave one of them out for, ease, so that you didn't have to wonder, well, what is going on with those ACs? But I kind of feel like I said, it's part of the story, and it keeps you engaged with it, right? You look at it and you're like, what in the heck? Why are there 95 heating and or cooling units in this room? This is the kind of electric heat you had, Chrissy? So guys, are you super excited for fall? Looks like my studio keeps disconnecting. If that happens, if it freezes up or whatever, or I disappear for a second, it's not you. I keep seeing it popping up. And the bottoms were always dented. Heck yeah. A furnace with radiant heating in the ceiling? Well, that's dumb. Yay, fall. Me too. It's just the absolute best, isn't it? It's so beautiful. And the cooler temperatures. So I bet you guys didn't know I was capable of digging in with teeny tiny brushes and just doing tons of detail work. Because in my videos, I would more often than not go this deep into detail, simply because it's so time consuming. But this is one of my very favorite parts of painting. Oh, they're not terribly efficient. Yeah, we pretty much only do the forced heat, the forced air around here. We'll make like a weird little dent on here too. That's going to be a dent. Yeah, it is kind of strange to see me using detail brushes. Oh, the radiant heating in the floors. Yeah, I would love to have heated floors. That would be really nice. And let's see right here. Yeah, now the radiator's starting to look good. You don't have AC at all? Oh, man. I don't know how I would do it. When it gets to like, I don't know, 76 in my house, I'm like, that's enough. Time for the AC. Oh, yeah. What do you think about the radiator now, guys? It was looking pretty amateur when we first started. It was crooked, it wasn't filled in nicely, but it's getting there now. So what do you do, Annie, when it's super hot and you don't have AC? How do you handle that? Excellent. Oh, I'm starting to get a little bit of a headache again. I always have a headache, guys. It's awful. I've trained myself to believe that my headaches are caused by dehydration. So, therefore, whenever I get a headache, I start drinking water thinking that's going to fix it. It doesn't, but, you know, there's nothing wrong with getting a little extra water in. Don't I have something between? Yeah, that's good. You open the windows and draw the curtains. Yeah. It gets so hot here where I live that's living like that is not an option. You know, in the summer here, it will easily go over 100 degrees. Like, just as a rule, that's what happens. And there's no way. Yeah, there's no way. All right, I'm going to amp up the texture a little bit more on the face of these radiators. Build up a little texture that maybe looks like some old layers of peeling paint or, whatever. Oh, that is nice. So what I'm going to do here is just break hard lines with my finger rather than scrubbing or anything like that. This under the chair, though, is going to be a little bit, it's got to be shadowed because it's, under and behind the chair. And this is not a shadow color. But I'm not going to worry about that right now because I can glaze the shadow onto it. Excellent. Thanks, Chrissy. Yeah, I guess the hotels would have to have AC, huh? Because they're like, we have people coming from all over the world who are overly AC'd at home, and they are not going to enjoy it if there is no AC here. Yeah, I think that in places, especially like where I live, I think we're over AC'd. You walk into a business and it's in the summer and it's ice cold in there. And then in the winter, we're overly heated. You walk into a business in the winter and it's flaming hot inside. Okay. I'm going to take a break from the radiator for a few minutes. Yeah. Oh, where was it? I was at the other day. I went inside and it was so cold, which was weird because it was kind of cool outside, but they had the AC just like blasting. I don't even remember where it was, but I was like, good grief. So stinking cold. All right, what should I work on now? Yeah, man, there we go. This is the point in the painting where two things happen. I am frustrated with the painting and I don't want to continue on it. because I'm not seeing improvement, or I'm not seeing it go where I want it to go. But then when I finally do break out like the detail brushes and start digging in there, once I start seeing that kind of thing, that's where I start to fall in love with it. And that's what's happening right now. So that's good. Saved. You know what's really bugging me? The window frame. Let's do that. Actually, I'm going to lift you up. Close your eyes so you don't get seasick. Whoa, hey. Maybe I'll work on the curtains. Maybe not. But I'm definitely going to work on that window frame. Oh, man, I would love to never see 80 degrees. That's way too hot for me. It's true, Tammy. That it's, for me, painting really is a high, a low, a high. That's kind of how all painting is for me. I absolutely love doing my value painting. I love doing the value painting. I always say it's my favorite part. But then I get to the detail phase and I say that's my favorite part. But in the middle, gets a little frustrating sometimes. Not frustrating, just boring, I guess. All right, I'm going to work on that frame. I like the orange, but it definitely needs just a little bit of some detail and some filling out. So let's do that. I'm going to start with some shadow because the lack of shadow on there is really making me unhappy with it. And there's nothing to be unhappy with. It just looks flat and stupid without shadow. So let's get in there and add some shadow. Pull you in just a little bit closer. Exactly. That's perfect, Christy. Yes. You can fix it later. All right. I don't want to fight with a straight line here. So Mr. Moon, you're going to make me really unhappy if you do what I think you're going to do. That looks awful. So, like you guys probably know, Mr. Moon does not have teeth. He's had his teeth pulled out because he's FIV positive, and that damages cats' teeth and makes it so they usually have to get their teeth pulled. So his teeth are gone. He refuses to eat wet food. So he just gums down kibble. I swear I've tried to get him to eat wet food and he will not have it. So because he's just gumming down and swallowing kibble, every once in a while when he's done eating, he gets a little sick. So if I suddenly mute you and disappear, yeah, then you know what's up. All right, I think we're good. I showed you that, that you can fix it later? Good. Because you can. I feel like this is too wide. I don't want that window frame quite that wide. That's a little better. It really is. He is getting old. Let's see. They said that he was at least 4 years old when we got him, and we got him in late 2016. So coming up on 10 years. So yeah, he's at least 13, 14. That's pretty crazy. That's looking better. Yeah. Where else do we have? There's a little bit on the edges. Now, I know I've told you you're not beholden to something because it's in your image. And I keep looking at it going, well, this is on there. But the thing is there's a little bit of texture on these bits of the frame. And I could just leave it off, but they also look super flat and uninteresting. And I'm not trying to cause them to command too much attention, but I also don't want them to be just like these weird little orange rectangles that are there with nothing else going on. So I'm just going to kind of suggest some shadows just to say that there is a texture in there. No, there's really not shadow or light on those pieces from the curtains. It's just a little bit of, they've got like a linear texture, kind of like down here. This one has actually a little bit of a highlight on it, which I'm not going to worry about the way the light is hitting those two little bits. I just didn't want them to look flat and weird. And I think they looked kind of flat and weird. Oh, I need alizarin. Alizarin also turns to gel in a wet palette. Well, alizarin from Golden. I learned that today. Let's see how this color is. Almost exact. There we go. Just a little bit lighter. Yeah, that color's going to be better. Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. Just make sure there's nothing else in there. Like if you're going to leave them in there indefinitely, just make sure there's nothing else in there, like a paper towel or a sponge or something that could get moldy. But yeah, absolutely. I did that for a while. In fact, I'll show you. They're over here. I had a little travel paint kit for a while, and I bought some of these. And see the colors on the top. But then I never used it, so I just let them dry out. But they were in here for like 4 years, and they were still wet. And now I have beads in there. So... yeah, as long as there's not something that'll make it go moldy, you should be golden. See what I did there? Golden. Yeah, I think you'd be okay. It doesn't have to be specifically a wet palette as long as it's airtight and yeah. Oh, I don't think I want to use this brush anymore. This is kind of making it hard. Oh, I ordered a book today, guys. I ordered that Drawing on the Right Side of Your Brain book. I've been wanting it for a long time, and I finally ordered it. It was on big sale, and I could not pass it up. In the picture, this is weird. It's got to just be the way the light is hitting it. But in the picture, I don't know if you can tell, the window frame up at the top is like, there, you can see it. It's like yellow up there where it's orange down here. And it's probably just the way the light coming through the window was hitting that. But I don't like that for my painting. And I think that that will make things a little bit on the difficult side for me. So I'm going to keep it the same color, but I'm going to use a different white. So I'm using Titan Mars here, but I'm going to use Titan Violet for up here. If I can get it open, come on. And that way it'll be a little lighter. And the tone will be a bit different. Not the tone, the value and the temperature will be a little bit lighter to make it look like it's the same color as what's below. It's just taking more light. Now let's see this palette. Oh yeah, I've seen those before. Yeah, that's essentially the exact same thing as what I just showed you. It's just smaller. So yeah, I think you're good. All right. Oh. When you start into things that you're like, I don't really understand what I'm looking at here, then that means it's time to simplify it. So that's what I'm going to do. Because it's strange. Not only is the color different, but like the shape and size are different. So I'm going to simplify it, and I'm going to make it look more like those posts there. I'm going to narrow it a little bit. For some reason in the picture it looks really wide. Woo! There we go. Oh yeah, cleaning it out. That'll be the fun part, won't it? I'm going to use that same color. Remember, guys, if you use a color that is unique or strange, it's not anywhere else. Sorry, somebody's car alarm is going off in my neighborhood. It's making me nuts. Try and find another place where you can use it, because like I was saying in this picture, that yellow, see if I turn it to the side you can see it, that yellow up there is it only exists in that one spot, and it looks out of place, I think. So that's why I went with the same color as this, only lighter, but then I'm also going to take this color and I'm going to add it down here for a highlight. This is going to be my highlight color. And that pulls that color in a little bit more, makes it not such a standout. Much better. On the other side of the shadow, we put a highlight, because that's how you build texture, or you build dimension, remember? I'll probably glaze some of this down a bit. Especially over here. There's not really any highlight over here. But I still want the dimension, so I'm adding it and then I'll glaze it down later. That's better. Oh, what time is it? It's almost been an hour. I think I'll let you go at an hour. I've been actually quite busy today. I cleaned up, like I said, I cleaned up in my studio some, and got a bunch of garbage that I need to take out, which is really just amounting to old canvases. My brain is just, it's got to be because I'm getting off of one of my medications, and so my brain is just kind of like just having a hard time keeping a string of, or like a thought thread in my mind this last week or so. But that'll go away. There is no shadow in my picture, in my reference on, well, I guess there's a shadow, but it's not really a shadow. But I'm going to give it a little bit of one up here at the top. So again, it doesn't look flat and dimensionless. Can't see that. Throw a little dirt in there. So my chromatic black mixture that I use, I've got, on this one I'm primarily using the QBO and the turquoise. I'll leave little bits of that sitting out so that I can use it for shadow or for dirtying up a color. If I have a color that is too vibrant, then I can just grab a hint of that chromatic black color and throw it in there. Get a nice dirty version of a color. Yeah. Oh, welcome, Meta. They can be hard, and I was expecting, things like this, so it's not, completely unexpected. But honestly, and maybe it's just because I'm stepping down so slowly, it really hasn't been too bad. I did expect it to be worse. So I guess I can't complain about that. Just a little dirtier. And this color is way grayer, or it's way darker and grayer than what I actually want. But remember, doesn't matter. Because this isn't my last layer, and I'm going to come back and fix it later. I have another point on my 101 ways that we're going to get to, which is about thinking a step ahead. So that means not mixing up my color and being like, this has to be the exact right color. It doesn't have to be the exact right color, because I'm going to come back. I'm going to add another color to it. I'm going to glaze it out. So that's what I mean by thinking a step ahead. Let me see if I've got... I guess not. I was going to see if there was any other place on there I could point to and say that's a step ahead, but no, my brain will not allow that kind of functioning right now. So just think a step ahead, guys. So if you're looking at something, it can be hard to, train your brain to do that, to know when to do that, but basically you're just going to look at what you're doing, and if you're like, oh, that is wrong, then before you react to it, stop and ask yourself, okay, it's wrong now, but is everything else done? Because if it's not done, then when I come back later, I can fix that or integrate it a little bit better, rather than dropping everything and having to fix it right now. Little up here. Oops. I don't actually even know if I like what's happening up here with this window frame. But there, I finished that part, so I'll come back to it later and decide. Again, this color was very different from what I was doing, so I'm going to add some here so it doesn't feel out of place. And maybe just a hint down here, and then I think I'll let you guys go. I'm actually surprised how much I got done today. I didn't think that I would be able to paint like this, the little detail-y bits. while talking to you guys. And certainly the amount of talking I did was less than normal, but yeah, we're getting there. Oh, I think I understand. Hang on. Now I understand what I'm looking at here with the window. So I need to solidify that in my mind. I have my shadow upside down. Okay, so we want a crisp edge here. This is the ceiling. This bit that I'm painting is not the window frame. This is the wall that's above the window down. Like the overhang. It overhangs the window. And then this part has the softer shadow because this part is the bit that's facing us. Okay, I understand what's happening there now, and I'll finish fixing it later. Bye, Debbie. Thanks for hanging out. It'll get there. Thank you for being nice and saying it looks good. Right now it's a mess, but it will get there. So yeah, I think I'm gonna let you guys go then. I want you guys to, do something today and be kind to yourself and think about the things that we've been talking about lately. And if you have questions over any of them or examples of using those concepts in your daily life, then we would love to hear about it. Feel free to share it in Discord or even in the comments section of the YouTube posts that I've been making. So, all right, everybody, I love you so much, and I will, whoops, why did I disappear? There I am. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Goodbye.